Hello everybody, this is a quick navigation video on how to access writing tools. Vista College provides you with many writing tools to make sure that you are creating and turning in the best possible papers to maximize your score, thereby maximizing your overall grade for your course. Writing tools are accessible through your course as well as through the home page of the Vista site, and I will show you both locations in case you happen to be in between terms and without a class. So this is a course here. Underneath the online services section, there's a link here called Writing Tools, and this is the link you'll use. Now the writing tools are composed of many different tools. Number one is how to write in APA format, which is the writing format required by Vista College for papers that you will submit. Secondly is how to access, register, and use Grammarly, which is what we will be discussing the bulk of this video. How to use EBSCOhost Online Library. This is a library with thousands of articles and different books and writings, all of which you can use to help add content to your paper. And lastly, how to avoid plagiarism. This is something discussed a little later in the orientation that you're going through now, but is something that is very serious. So to access writing tools, we're going to simply click on Writing Tools, and a pop-up will appear and take us to Academic Services. If this is the first time that you've clicked on this link, there will be a little Enroll Me button kind of in the center of the page that you'll click on to access this page, and you'll only have to click on that Enroll Me button one time. So here's information about the EBSCOhost Online Library, a lot of information about how to write an APA style. If you're new to APA, I suggest clicking on this link first, how to write an APA style paper. There's a nice video that makes it very simple on how an APA style paper is written. Also more APA information down here depending on what type of word processing software you're using to write your papers with. Information on how to avoid plagiarism here. And then lastly, but not least, is Grammarly. So the rest of this video we're going to talk about Grammarly and how to use it. Now, accessing and registering Grammarly, you can learn how to do that by clicking on this link here. There's a video that will show you how to register for an account with Grammarly. But what we're going to do is talk more about how to use it. A couple rules of thumb, however, before we get started. Two rules of thumb that are most important. Number one is make sure you're using this Grammarly link here. You don't want to go directly to Grammarly.com or you'll register for a trial version. After it expires, you'll then be asked to pay for it. So rule of thumb number one is use this link here. This link is specifically for educational facilities and students. Number two is make sure that when you register, when you're going through the registration process of Grammarly, that you use your Vista Gmail account that you will have activated on the first step of this orientation. It's one of the first things that you've done. By using that Vista College Gmail account, it triggers you a full version of Grammarly, and then you will not be asked to pay for it. So, quick recap. Rule of thumb number one, use this link and not Grammarly.com. And rule of thumb number two, use your Vista email account while registering. Okay, so we're going to click on this link here, and this is the link you would select to register. If you already have, or once you have registered for Grammarly, you would log in here. If you do not have an account, you would simply click Create Account and go through the registration process. So I'm going to close that down just for a moment and go to the home page of the Vista site, because there is a way also to get to that through the Vista site, and that is simply through the Student Resource Center here. Now it is an extra click, so you'd click on the Student Resource Center and then you would click on Academic Services to get to that same information we were just on. Again, if it's your first time clicking on these pages, you'll have to click a little gray Enroll Me button initially to get access to these pages. After that, you won't have to do that anymore. Alright, so once you register for Grammarly, there will be an email sent to your Vista email account with a link inside it. You click on that link to activate your account and it'll take you right here. So here we are in Grammarly. So once you have written your paper, we want to open up Grammarly and we want to upload your paper into this checker. We can do it one of two ways. We can copy and then select paste, and all the content will be pasted here, or we can go through the usual upload process by choosing a file off of our computer. The paper I have is on my desktop, week 2 assignment. I'm going to double click that and then select upload week 2 assignment. Of course, that will be the name that you name your assignment. And then it takes just a moment and the paper populates. Now what we want to do is we want to select plagiarism. If we select Start Review, it only does the grammar check. If we select plagiarism, it actually will do the grammar check and the plagiarism check simultaneously. And because we're being graded on both, it's just easier to kill two birds with one stone. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. First of all, we have 32 issues found and a score of 83 of 100. The score isn't too bad, but there still is room for improvement. On the right side here, these are our 32 issues. The first issue that we have is citation audit at 4%. This is your plagiarism, and 4% is very low, so this is actually really good. The lower the percentage of the citation audit, the better. This is information that we have borrowed from other texts that we have not written ourselves. So we have to make sure that we cite where we get it from. Now, going back to the academic services, we do have an APA reference citing wizard. Again, this video here goes over it, but definitely take a look at this when creating references or citing your sources. It just makes it very easy. All right. Now sometimes these citations will be commonly used phrases which are found rampantly on the internet. When you do this plagiarism check, what it does is it runs your paper essentially through the web, and it matches anything that you have written or copied and pasted with books, magazines, newspapers, websites, and then it'll give you the link on where that information is found. So again, you want this percentage to be very, very low, but also it will flag commonly used phrases like this. This is just something that was typed in and is a common phrase, so we can just click next. We don't really need to rephrase that or even cite that. When I click next, it goes then to the next issue with plagiarism. But these are just questions that I'm answering. So what I did is I just copied and pasted a question out of the book, and then below is my answer. So that's not really plagiarism in the sense that we need to be worried about it. An issue would be if we have a paragraph copied and pasted from our ebook or from an internet source. That is something we would need to cite. Again, information on how low the plagiarism needs to be is discussed later in this orientation. But again, it shows me here that this was pulled from a book and is something that I would need to cite if it was a paragraph of information. But as it's just a question that I'm answering, not a big deal. So I'm just going to click next through these because these are all just questions that I'm answering as these are case studies in a book. Okay. Once we've gone through those, it goes to our second section, use of conjunctions. We have one issue here. The really nice thing with Grammarly is it tells us what the issue is and the incorrect way we've used it and how we can correctly use and correct this issue. Not only that, it gives us a suggested correction. So it doesn't like us using the word as, but instead using the word like. We can simply click on like. It changes this to like and highlights it in blue. And then we click next. We can see we have no issues now with conjunctions. Then it goes to the next section, which is incorrect use of prepositions. So basically, everything that is an issue will be highlighted in pink. We can see this little caret arrow pointing at it. It'll give us the information of why it's incorrect and then give us suggested corrections. So what I'm going to do is quickly go through these and correct all of these issues. I suggest not going quite this fast, but actually reading what the issues are. But for sake of time, I'm going to go through them a little bit quicker. Again, now we have 0 issues. We go to the next one, punctuation within a clause. So you get the idea of how this works. Look for your suggested insertions or corrections and then click on them to make the change. Now, not only will it insert correct information, but it also will allow you to remove incorrect information. Like it looks like here, I should have had a quotation. I accidentally put an apostrophe, so it says remove it. I'm going to click remove, and then I'm going to click back into that area and then add the quote. And there we have 0 issues. And then I'll just click on the next section. And then here we have, remove this comma, and so on and so forth. And I just keep clicking next and doing what it recommends me to do. Now, for sake of time, I'm not going to go through all of them, but let's say we do. Once you have gone through all of them, you want to run the plagiarism grammar checker again, because what we're looking at is to decrease the issues and to increase the score. So we've got 32 issues and 83 of 100 points. I'm going to click plagiarism again. Let's run it one more time, and let's see where we're at after it runs. Okay, so much better. Now 21 issues, and now we're at a score of 91 out of 100. So we're increasing the quality of our paper, which is going to increase your score and increase your grade. So this is worth doing and spending a few extra minutes. All right, so what we do is we just, again, go through all of the rest of these and make the corrections. Now, once we have made the corrections and you feel happy with your paper, we need to download a version of this paper, which is the most correct version, and save it to your computer so that you're uploading the most correct version, not the original version, which is the incorrect version. So to do that, you simply select download. Then you click this download link, and when you do that, I have to move this down a little bit, we'll have a pop-up asking us if we want to open or save. I'm going to click this little arrow here and click save. All right, and that is going to actually be the version of the paper that I submit. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now, not only do we have to save a copy of the most correct version of our paper, but we also need to save a Grammarly report. So I'm going to click Save Print Report up here on the right. And again, this is going to pop up, Save As. I'm going to save it to my desktop, but I'm going to give it a name because it just says Grammarly Report, so I'm going to give it a name, which is Paper Week 1. All right, going to my desktop, save. Okay, so I have now the most correct version of my paper saved, as well as this Grammarly report. So when I go to upload my assignment, I'm going to be uploading 2 separate files. I'm going to be uploading the corrected paper as well as the Grammarly report, and I'll kind of show you what those look like. So here's my Grammarly report here, which is a PDF document, which is what we want to upload, but also we want to upload this. Now my original was just called Week 2 Assignment, but the more correct version is Week 2 Assignment Edited, and it automatically adds that .edited onto your more correct version that you've saved to your computer. So that's the one you want to upload, is the one entitled .edited there at the end. And that's it. That's how you use Grammarly and how you run the Grammarly report. And hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Thank you very much.